Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to this week's wrap-up featuring 5 new indie games off Gamejolt.com. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to welcome the new subscribers. We've had quite the influx of new people come in lately, which is awesome, and I want to welcome all of you and encourage you to come hook up with the people that have been around the channel for quite some time now, or maybe you're a little bit still new. This is still new people. That would be over at the Discord. You can come and hang out, talk about games, maybe show the game you're making. But also, if you're new here, this is your first video, I want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Maybe this isn't your first video and you've just been lurking. Hit that subscribe button. Come on over to the Discord. I'd love to chat with all of you. And also, all the games we're playing today, we played on stream last night. And you can check out the full gameplay of each game individually. It's going to be uploaded probably as of 8 this morning. Maybe the same time as this video, maybe a little after. Not entirely sure, but check all those out. Go play all those games. But alright, let's get into it. Alright, so the first game we're going to talk about today is called Out of Space. Now this is a over-the-shoulder runner game that's level-based and something's chasing you, a bunch of power-ups and stuff. You can see it's really awesome. The colors and the obstacles themselves are very diverse. The power-ups are pretty cool, and the concept is pretty interesting, though I'm still trying to wrap my head around why there's power-ups on the space station or spaceship that's blowing up and being eaten. That's besides the point. The gameplay is really fun. It's really challenging. If you go and check out the gameplay of me playing it and Otter making fun of me from the stream last night, you'll see that I really enjoyed it though. I like that the first level wasn't easy, but it wasn't super hard, and then the second level you just floored it. I didn't even get to the third level. It was crazy hard, but I really loved it. So now let's just jump right into the rankings. Let's start out with the aesthetics. I love the audio. It sounded like you did some voiceover clips, which is pretty cool. I think you did a good job with that. I think the colors are awesome. I like the graphics overall. Some of it's kind of silly. It's just focused around being fun. So for this, I'm going to give you an intermediate on this one. Kind of the high tier, almost a proficient. Something I'd like to see a little bit more of is a few more animations than just running and the chomping. The colors are cool, but I'd like to see some stuff moving around. Maybe some space debris flying around. Maybe a little bit more than just tentacles doing, like, I don't know the stock animation, but I think you have a really great thing started here, and I'd love to see you continue developing that aspect of it. Next, let's talk about the design. I think the level design was great, albeit really busy. Like, you look at it and there's so much stuff going on with the obstacles, with the power-ups. I thought some of the power-ups were weird, in weird locations, like you had the speed up right in front of the slowdown, and the slowdown, we'll talk about mechanics in a second. But the design overall was good. It's not very complicated. It's a runner, so here I'm going to give you intermediate. I think you're doing a great job. I think you got the right idea. Just, I don't even know. It's a runner game, so it's kind of hard to say do more of what you're doing. I'd like to see more levels. Right? I'd like to see some levels that maybe try and go up or down or take turns, stuff like that. Again, I didn't get to the third level, so maybe that's already there. Like I said, intermediate for this one. Now, let's go on to the mechanics. The mechanics, I think you're doing a great job with the speed up and the slowdown, although the slowdown one kind of ticks me off because it seems like it slows you down way more than it actually should. It seems like I hit 2 and I'm stopped. And I think it would be interesting. It's a little bit different than other runner games where you like hit an obstacle and that obstacle is destroyed and you're slowed down a little bit. You kind of stumble, but then you pick up. Here, you hit an obstacle, you're done. You stop dead. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just not used to it. So you can change it if you want. I don't think you need to change it. It doesn't really affect your score that much. But I'd like to see some more diverse mechanics. Maybe some different power-ups like a rock breaker or a charge or a alien begone spray. I don't know. That might be something interesting. So for this, I'm also going to give you an intermediate in the mechanics. Again, I think you're doing a great job here, and the project is really fun to play. Like, it was entertaining. Watch the stream. We had a lot of fun playing it. The next game we're going to be talking about today is called Cave Bin. Sorry if you just heard my headphones come off. I needed to do it. My ears are dying under here. But anyways, so Cave Bin is actually an interesting game where it seems like you're trapped underground. I don't know why I said it's actually an interesting game, like it's surprising. No, it's an interesting game. It was very interesting, the concept of it, although I'm not really sure what the concept is exactly. I know the controls and that I'm trying to escape this cave, and I look like a turtle with a jetpack and a light gun. So immediately my interest is piqued. So you're playing this game, and this guy is going around, you see enemies, you shoot them. There's no real indicators of what's going on other than what the turtle is saying. I don't know if it's a turtle. It might be a guy. Now that I'm looking back at it, it might actually be a guy. I think it's a turtle. I'm going to stick with the turtle because I think it's more fun. No disrespect intended, Mr. Developer, sir. Anyways, this turtle trying to get out of here, and the controls are really touchy for that jetpack. And so that's the first thing I would advise. Hey, maybe tune that down a little bit. Secondly, there's no indication that my goal is actually the torch unless I just completely missed it in the stream, which we were kind of distracted in the stream, so I'll give you that might entirely be it. I also don't know what I'm trying to get out of. Am I escaping? What's going on? I think a boss fight would be beautiful in this game. Some kind of boss demon. Or maybe make the threat of the demons less so in the first couple levels, but really amp it up as time goes on. So I'm going to just jump right into the rankings here. Into the rankings a minute and a half into talking about it. I don't know. I'm crazy. So let's go to aesthetics. I think you've got a great atmosphere going on here. I like the artwork you have. I like the design of everything and how it's dark. And it's putting on a great atmosphere. The sound also helps as well. So I'm going to give you an intermediate here because you're definitely on your way with working on something. I think some things that could be improved upon. And this kind of goes into design a little bit, but give me some indicators, man. Show me what's going on. It looked like when I took fall damage that the screen turned red a little bit, which is definitely a good indicator. That's a good start, but I need more to see where I'm at. The text blurbs were not enough. They were helpful, but I mean, I should know how much ammo I have at the very least, right? I think that's fair enough. I may not need to know how much health I have, and just those text indicators are fine, but at least give me how much ammo I have. That would be super helpful. As well as the atmosphere. Other than the graphics you have, I think it's alright. Maybe some more diversity in character designs and some things along the similar lines there. But now let's get into level design. Level design is pretty simple. It's just some blocks that you're trying to get around heading towards the escape. Which I think this escape is static. Oh, yeah, there needs to be like some kind of death screen. Something that differentiates between death and moving on to the next level. I think that's super important because I was confused, and if you watch the full video, which is up now, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Actually, it might not be up now. It might not. I talked about it at the beginning. But anyways, yeah, I think adding some indication of level complete versus death would help, and the level design is pretty simple, so maybe find some way to flow the levels together. The level design seemed kind of random to me, and just eventually I found one that looked different. I don't know if that was through progression or whatnot. But through design, I'm going to give you an intermediate if I haven't already said that, and that is because of the reasons stated. For mechanics, you need to tone back that jetpack. Right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you you're getting an intermediate here, and it's because that jetpack is so touchy. And the interacting with walls seems really weird. The shooting the cannon seems a little clunky, and I think it could use some polishing up, but mainly it's that jetpack. Have some consistency with how it fires off. Sometimes it does a little bit, sometimes it does a lot. I think that would go a long way to help you. Alright, rolling right into game number 3. This is called The Manor. It's actually a cool RPG Maker game that I came across. The story seems interesting. Definitely piqued my interest for where it was going. I haven't seen an RPG Maker game like this, so kudos to you for surprising me with what RPG Maker could make. I like where it's going. I like the atmosphere. It's very different from the other ones that I find on Gamejolt that are using RPG Maker. So I'm going to give you, as far as aesthetics go, I'm going to give you a proficient. I think you've really put these pieces together in a way that is unique and builds a really awesome atmosphere. The audio helps. The way you use the dialogue boxes is cool, and the menu actually didn't feel as clunky as it does in other RPG Maker games. So I was really impressed, and I hope I'm conveying that. You should go check out the full video and hear me talking about it a little bit. We didn't spend as much time on this because it's getting near the end of the stream, but we still spent several minutes playing this game. On to design. I think the story could use a little bit of work. It felt kind of jump cutty, but we didn't get very far into it because it's a demo, so for now I'm going to give you an intermediate here. I'd love to see more of the story to see how it blends together, and the level design seemed pretty interesting, and you had to move around the map. You utilized this space well so far, and I need to see more of the game to know that, so intermediate it is here. I'd like to see I'd like to see you continue to push the envelope of what the RPG Maker can do, and look at other games and see what they're doing, and try and modify it in a way, and do it in a way that you think is better, whatever that may be. As far as mechanics go, it's pretty straightforward. You did find a way to make the menu not as clunky as the other one, so I'm impressed there. I am going to give you an intermediate on this because there really isn't more than just running around and hitting E on stuff or selecting and investigating stuff, and I'm going to need to see more there. I'd like to see you, again, continue to push the envelope here. See what you can do that isn't traditional RPG style stuff or isn't traditional RPG Maker stuff. So far, you've really captured my interest. I'd encourage you to keep doing that. Alright, here we go, guys. Game 4 out of 5. So, this game is called Lone Path, and it is an RPG sort of game. It's more of a... I don't even know how to put it. It's a storytelling game, which is actually awesome. I don't play many of these games, and the few that I come across on Gamejolt are usually poorly written, and this one seems to have a pretty coherent story so far. And the dialogue isn't just falling flat, there's actually dialogue that seems interesting. There's a few grammar mistakes here and there, but that's to be expected. You're in the fleshing out of problem stage, right? And the art style really caught my interest. I loved making voices for this. Haley and I did some really funny voices for this, so you guys should go check out that video and let me know what you think of our awesome voice acting. But yeah, I did enjoy this game. I like the setting. I couldn't tell what setting it is, but there's so many context clues that we arrived at somewhere between the 50s and 60s, maybe even a little bit earlier than that with the technology. So you have done a really good job of painting an atmosphere, and the colors in the background seem mute, and that's good because it paints this atmosphere, like this gritty atmosphere, which is what you want in like a detective game or a detective movie. You want that gritty, dull colors, and you want to paint it like a true crime thing, right? And that's what you've done, so I'm really impressed with this. I'm going to give you a proficient with the graphics here, and I'm going to roll, and that's really just because of what I just described. So it's going to be on the screen short, but rolling right into the design, your storytelling is great, and the design of the rooms is complex, and there's detail in the rooms. It's not just face value. There's detail in everything you've done here. It's not a traditional level, but I'm going to give you a proficient here as well because I think you've thought of everything. I think you've thought of everything that has to do with the room, the setting, the environment, the characters. That's really difficult to do. That's hard to do, so I applaud you for that. As far as mechanics go, it's super simple. You're just running around hitting E and progressing the story a little bit. So I'm going to give you an intermediate here. As far as moving forward, maybe add some things that aren't typically in detective games. Think about how you can make this game unique and yours at the same time as conveying the message you want to convey. Because I think you have a really cool story here. I really do. And I really love where it's going. And I encourage you to keep developing, and I'm definitely going to be following this game. So kudos, well done, and keep up the great work, guys. Whew, we made it, guys. Game number 5 today is Source of Madness. Now, this game blew me away with the graphics. They are so well done, and they are so cohesive together. And it just captured my interest right away, and the Lovecraftian kind of style is pretty cool. If you guys want to see Haley play it and me picking on her to play it, remember to check out the full gameplay. I'm going to stop advertising that now. But yeah, the mechanics were pretty fun. The concept of the game is really interesting, though I don't know much about what the concept actually is and what's actually going on. Though it's still fun regardless. I would encourage you to continue developing the story side of it, because I feel like it needs work and it doesn't have as much attention as you've given the graphics. So please, please, please give the story the same love that you've shown these graphics, because the graphics are amazing, and if the story even matches close to that, I'm so impressed. Super well done. They look hand-drawn. Please tell me, are these hand-drawn? That's fantastic. Alright, let's go right into the ranking system. And again, I say right in after I've been praising this game for how long. So the aesthetics. Oh my goodness, look at these graphics. It looks fantastic. It looks so good. I love it. And it's not because they're like super 3D, 4K graphics. It's because they're so cohesive. They work so well together. It looks like it took a ton of time, a ton of talent to piece these together to get the characters, or look at those monsters moving around. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. They look so fluid and scary, honestly. And I love hand-drawn graphics. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for hand-drawn graphics. So I'm gonna give you an elite score with your graphics here, your aesthetics, and the audio to match. It's an awesome game. It looks phenomenal. Keep up the work there, guys. So good. Now let's move on to design. The level design is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna be forced to give you an intermediate here, just because I don't know what the story is. And the level design, it's good. I think you can do better. I think it just needs the same love that you've given the graphics, just a little bit more time, and it can be truly stupendous. I don't know what that word means. I'm just going to use it because it was in Calvin and Hobbes' Stupendous Man, so sorry. But truly, I don't know how to express it anymore. Okay, on to the mechanics. The mechanics are pretty cool. The rings and the special ability are pretty awesome, and it all flows really fluidly, and some of the power-ups are awesome and look great, and they all flow together again with the graphics. Man, I can't get over that. I can't get over the graphics. They're so good. For the mechanics, I think I'm going to give you a proficient here, because you definitely know what you're doing when it comes to designing the mechanics for the characters. I think they just need a little bit more polish. And I know it looks like you're trying to avoid an aiming reticle, but I think you need one a little bit. Just a little bit. Even if to just avoid, like, control where that dash is going. Just because the aiming feels so clunky, and it feels like you're so restricted unnecessarily. It doesn't feel like there's a reason to be restricted like that. So that would be my advice, is add a reticle, polish over some of the clunkiness of the shooting, and a little bit of the, not the movement, but the abilities. Oh man, I don't know where you guys are in the video, but I just saw a death screen and it looks so good. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a proficient here. Overall, this game is phenomenal. Anybody watching this should definitely go and download this game and show this developer support. I think they're really onto something. This is something that I feel is truly unique, and I'm super happy that I was able to play this game for you guys. Alright, well that's all I got for this week's wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys go and download these games. I hope you developers find this information useful, and if you do, let me know in the comments below. It's really helpful, and being a small channel, it's hard to stay motivated. So hearing you guys' feedback is super helpful. I can't express it enough, and how both motivating it is when you guys are cheering me on, and also how helpful it is when you tell me that maybe I could have done a better job there. So thank you guys. I hope you stick around, and again, to all you new people, welcome to the channel. So guys, until next time, please take care of yourself, because I will see you later.